Justin Herbert missing the second phase of OTAs is a big deal. I see some of the media is making it a big deal, saying there's a new offense, it's installments. Justin Herbert is getting paid $3 million a game. He's getting paid a lot of money to be not only just a player, to be a boss, and they're expecting him to be in the building every single day, etc., etc., etc. Which is, I guess, if you look at it in one way, I guess you're right. I mean, you would want the fan base, the media, they would want to see a guy overly committed, overly loyal to an organization, to a team, to win a game, to win games, to win playoff games, to win a Super Bowl, to bring chips to the team, to the organization. I get that, and I agree with that to a certain extent. But we got to look at it as a whole picture. The whole picture is we don't know the entire story. So if you don't know the entire story, you really shouldn't come up with a bunch of suggestions, scenarios, and speculations on why this player is doing X, Y, and Z. Perhaps the player like Justin Herbert, who has been in the league for I don't know how long, what 6, 7 years now. Perhaps he has came up with another system that he thinks could be better than just going to OTAs all the time, and maybe perhaps Jim Harbaugh and Mike McDaniel has agreed with this type of system and type of strategy that Justin Herbert has came up with. Justin Herbert is like, I've been doing the same thing every single year since I've been in the league, and I have not been getting the results that I wanted in playoff win games. So the the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing and expecting the same results. So maybe Justin Herbert's mind is, I'm going to do something different this year. So word on the street is he's out on tour with his girlfriend, yada yada yada, whatever. Who cares? That doesn't mean that Justin Herbert's not putting in the work. Justin Herbert is a very, very rich man. So doesn't mean that he doesn't have the access, he doesn't have the resources to go and do things that pertains to him being a quarterback and to being a great player. Doesn't mean that. So I think like the media sometimes when they really don't really have anything to cover or say, they kind of blow things out of proportion, make things more bigger than what they really are. And I don't really think Justin Herbert missing OTAs is that big. Is that big of a deal? I really don't. I Justin Herbert has been great. He has been great freaking throughout the regular season since he's been in the league. Yeah, he's came up short in the playoffs, but we all know what's the reason behind that is if we're really going to look deeply into it. Mike McDaniel being there for being there as the offensive coordinator is the greatest thing that ever happened to Justin Herbert. And Mike McDaniel already addressed the situation. He was just like, I'm comfortable with where he's at mentally, and he's shown me some things. We talked, and pretty much he gave them the permission to go ahead and go out, go and do what he needs to do. Go ahead and get whatever he needed to do. If he didn't want to go to ATAs, if he didn't want to go to phase one and phase two, he had the opportunity, he had the permission to do that. So Jim Harbaugh, since he's been on the Chargers, he's been saying that he doesn't want Justin Herbert to change a thing. He wants Justin Herbert to keep doing exactly what he's doing. So I just think Justin Herbert is trying a new thing. He's trying a new system. Just because he's not at OTAs doesn't mean that he's not going to win playoff games. He's not going to go deep into the Super Bowl. I mean, go deep into winning a Super Bowl. He's been at OTAs and he hasn't won anything in the playoffs. So I trust him. I trust Jim Harbaugh. I trust Mike McDaniel. I trust the entire Chargers organization. I trust the process. I trust that they're going to do what it is that they need to do for them to win games. I think he is a completely obsessed individual, and just because he's not at OTAs doesn't mean he's not overly committed. Doesn't mean he's not loyal. Doesn't mean he's not obsessed to being a great player. It really doesn't mean that. So I know Tom Brady's missed some OTAs later on in his career. So it's just I think we need to figure out before we come to a conclusion about this story, before we start trying to say maybe he's not committed or he needs to be there because he hasn't won a playoff game, he's been an underachiever so far in his career, etc., etc., etc. I think we need to look at the bigger picture of it and look at it from maybe this could be maybe this could be the situation. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. It couldn't come up any faster. and I know all of you fans are as well. And it's going to be very interesting to see what Caleb Williams is going to do in his second year with Ben Johnson. What Justin Herbert is going to do under Mike McDaniel. Justin Herbert is in one of the best situations now in all of the quarterbacks in the entire NFL. So that is going to be somebody with his talent, his skill set, it in working with Mike McDaniel, is they're going to light the league up. And maybe Mike McDaniel just wants Justin Herbert to just get the mental aspect down packed. Maybe he just was like, hey, look, maybe it was a private conversation between them, because you also all have to take in consideration that the coaches is not going to tell us everything. They're not. Players is not going to tell us everything. They're not. And there could have just been, like McDaniel could have just been, you got the physical part down. You got the physical part down. You got all the tangibles. What I need you to do is to go out and just sit down, take the playbook, take the system, take the notes that I'm going to give you, take all the data that I'm going to give you, the information, because that's what a head coach is. Not a head coach, but a coach is also. Head coach and other coaches, coordinators, that's what they are. They are assistant to players. They gather data and information in in tapes and film and everything that they can gather and evidence and all this stuff, and they give it to the player, and they're like, this is what you need to know, this is what you need to understand, this is what you need to study, this is what you need to be aware of. Put this, imprint this, ingrain this in your mind. So football is so mental too. People like who never played the game, they think it's all physical and it's all just about, that's it. But no, like football is more mental than it is physical, to be honest with you. It really is. And so especially if you're in an NFL. So Justin Herbert is obviously a tough person, tough player. He has the grit. He has all the physicality. It's just now maybe might be Daniels like with this system, with how we're going to approach things. We're going to approach things more psychologically, and so that doesn't necessarily require you to come waste your time, go to OTAs, going through phases that you already know. That could be a scenario. That could be a situation. I'm just throwing things out there, but I am countering of what the media is trying to push out there about Justin Herbert, making it a big deal about him not going to OTAs like it's the end of the world. Who's to say that this may be a reason? This may be one of the major factors of him going all the way to the Super Bowl. So that's that. That's all I got to say. And I'll be back very soon. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you feel about the Justin Herbert situation, about me missing OTAs. Do you think it's a big deal or not? I honestly don't think it's a big deal. I wasn't really going to talk about it that much, but this is really actually my second time talking about it. But I just hear other people talking about it, other analysts talking about it, and I just wanted to counter their negative perspectives on it, because it's really not that deep. It's really not. So yeah. Give me your. I mean, I already gave you all my Super Bowl predictions. I think it's going to be the Chargers and the Rams. So I would like to know what people think, what your opinions are. Who do you think is going to go all the way to the Super Bowl, and who's going to win it? I think the Chargers and the Rams, that will be one of the greatest Super Bowls ever of this year, if that can happen. The Rams going with their loaded team, Matthew Stafford versus Justin Herbert, Battle of LA. You can't get any better than that. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. No days off. Deuces.